Hello, folks. This is Maria Abreu from Abreu and Associates. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you like the content of the video, hit the like button and make sure to share. Hey, folks. Talking about real estate. Real estate has always been a favorite investment for foreigners here in the DR. Okay, I would say most people come to the country want to invest in property, and it is a very smart investment that stands the test of time. Okay, um, when it comes to real estate, several things need to be done. I've explained this in another video, but I don't mind reviewing it because we see a lot of people there. First of all, you have to keep in mind the differences between real estate transactions, say in the States and here in the US. In the States, a realtor has to be licensed. So this person, once they once they issue a contract, when they do the transaction, most people don't get a lawyer. They basically deal with the realtor. Okay, and the realtor is authorized to do the real estate transaction and takes care of the purchase of the property in the interest of the buyer. In the Dominican Republic, realtors are not licensed. Okay, they're not. And that when it comes to the legal part of the process, you do need a professional to handle that. And I'll give you an example. One of the very basic things that needs to be done when you're going to buy a property is to vet the title. We can check with the registry office the status of this title. First of all, we want to make sure that the seller of the property is the title owner, because there have been instances where the title owner has sold the property to another party who is making payments on the property. But now this person decides to sell to a third party. Okay? In order for that sale to be legal, the purchase contract has to include the title owner and also the person who has what is known as possession of the property. And this way, both parties are in agreement that this property is going to be sold to that third party who's purchasing. Okay, this makes it easier to transfer the title to the last person buying the property. I've come across this so many times I can't begin to tell you. So we got to vet that title. You also want to look at the legal status of the title. Are there any liens? Is there a pending mortgage? Has there been litigation on that property? What was the outcome of that litigation? So these are things that have to be checked on. Another thing you want to check on is the status of the taxes that need to be paid on that property. So the Internal Revenue Service in the DR provides a certification showing that the taxes are up to date. Okay? And very importantly, important to look at the contract. Okay? The clauses must be checked so that they not only protect the interest of the seller, but also of the buyer. It's commonplace for developers to issue contracts that really protects their interest and kind of leaves the buyer out there in the cold. For instance, there was a clause in a contract, this is very common, wherein they state if the property is not turned over in the time established, they're still within the contract, there's still, what's the word I'm looking for? It still falls within the confines of what the contract establishes. How's that? If you're 6 months late turning over that property to the buyer, meaning, let's say you bought pre-construction. You bought the property pre-construction, and on a specific date, they had to turn over the property to you. But then the person buying the property, for whatever reason, the project went over and it's late in completing, the completion date is off by 6-7 months, okay, well, that needs to be addressed in the contract. You are not within the conditions of the contract, okay? So either a penalty has to be imposed, or they have to do something about the final cost. So these are the kind of things that, you know, an attorney has to look at when a real estate transaction is taking place in order to protect the interests of the client, okay? As far as the cost, transferring a title, drawing up the contract, transferring the title, the legal fee is 1.5% of the worth of the property. That's what the law establishes as far as payment. Now, there are other additional service that, you know, a client may require, which incurs additional costs, but that would depend upon the service required by the client. So this is very important to keep in mind. You're coming to a new country, laws are different, customs are different, so you want to make sure you're protected, okay? So in this instance, finding a professional, a lawyer to handle the process for you, it is of utmost importance. It will save you a lot of headaches, okay, folks? So see you next time.